Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO 44 coming at you another video. All right, so the score was 97-87. The Lakers lose at whatever Target Center in Minneapolis. Find new ways to lose, LA. Find new ways to lose. This one was miserable. This is an absolute miserable basketball game. First of all, I'm looking at NBA.com stats. So ESPN, I guess for whatever reason, somewhere around halftime, their box score for this game just disappeared. Like literally don't have it available to us. So yeah, I've never actually looked at stats on this particular site, so I'll do the best I can. They don't really have all the team stat stuff that's easy to read off right now. But Max Christie walked away with 15 points. Pretty good Max Christie game for the most part. 4 turnovers we don't love. Rui Hachimura had a 9.3 assists, 2 steals, 7 rebound game, but it was bad. Minus 18. Some of the mistakes down the stretch. Him and Anthony Davis with the rebounding issues on 2 consecutive rebounds. Just miserable. AD, a very quiet 23 and 11, 4 turnovers and 3 blocks. Quiet. Minus 22 Anthony Davis night. He was an afterthought. I almost forgot he was out there at certain points in this game. Austin Reeves had 18 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. It was good to have him back out there. 6 of 16 from the field, still inefficient as usual. 4 of 8 from the 3, though. That was pretty solid, 50%. Gabe Vincent had a much better than usual game. 2 of 7 from the field, which is not good, but 6 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. That's actually a pretty good game for him. 3 turnovers, though. If you look up and down the box score, you're going to see turnovers up and down this thing. That's what reality tells me. D'Angelo Russell was not available to his team because he got in foul trouble early. Came back out there and missed a whole lot of catch and shoot threes. 2 of 10 from the field, 1 of 7 from behind the arc. If he would have been even reasonable catching and shooting the ball, we would have had a much better chance of winning this game. But since he was so ridiculously anemic shooting the ball and ultimately in foul trouble, he wasn't available to help his basketball team. So he had 5 points and 4 rebounds. Dalton Knecht was cold, 2 of 5 from the field. He needs more shots attempts, but 0 for 3 from behind the arc. 7 points. Oh no, 6 points, minus 7, but 6 points, 9 boards, career high 9 boards. We like that from Dalton. Cam Reddish, I thought played pretty good. Good energy, 4 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. So, he wasn't bad, 5 points. Plus 4 from the plus minus. I thought he was solid with 23 minutes of play. But at the end of the day, we turned the ball over 21 times, okay? Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. The team turned the ball over every 5 minutes. Most of these players had more than 1 turnover. We only have 1 player with no turnovers, and that was Christian Koloko, and Dalton Knecht had 1. Everybody else had 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 2. Like, that's exactly what this says. So turnovers up and down the board, really ridiculous for us. Jaden McDaniels had 18 points. Juju had 21. Anthony Edwards had 23. Kind of a quiet night for Anthony Edwards. 9 of 20 from the field. He doesn't really shoot well against us. 0 for 6 from Mike Conley. 1 for 7 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. 3 for 10 from Naz Reid. Starting to get my drift. They didn't shoot well either. They shot poorly. 40% from the field. 28% from 3. But we shot 38% from the field and 28% from 3. So that's one of the worst shooting nights we've ever had. Since I've been paying attention, we don't usually shoot below 40% like that. That was not what you're going to see very often. Just a putrid basketball game overall, to be honest with you. We had so many frustrating circumstances, especially throughout the course of this game where, the Timberwolves would go on scoring droughts and we wouldn't hit anything. And we would be close, like around a 4-point game in a lot of situations, and we turn the ball over and they go break their scoring drought off of a transition bucket and stuff like that. Just a very, very irritating basketball game to watch from start to finish. Both teams were extremely cold. The Lakers couldn't stop turning the ball over. We had rebounding issues down the stretch, back to back. Anthony Davis and Rui Hachimura could not seem to figure out who they wanted to allow to rebound the ball. Jaden McDaniels snatched the ball out of their hands while they were figuring that out, put the ball up, scored. And then on the next one, I guess Anthony Davis was going to allow Rui to get it, but kind of went for it, didn't, and they ended up getting the ball there. It's just like, y'all pathetic tonight for real, man. You know, it was pathetic tonight. And, you know, for me, tonight was a tough Rui game specifically. His basketball IQ was not very good at all tonight. He made a lot of mistakes, man. Not to single out one single soul, but there was most of the time, for me, my frustration was pointed at Rui in just some various different ways. He was just doing stuff I didn't agree with. Not making a pass when he should. You know, just the poor rebounding stuff. Just certain things he was doing out there I just thought was bad. Misread defensively here or there. He was just really a rough watch for us. I didn't think he was all that smart tonight. And I think D'Lo, you know, with him coming off the Portland game, you just had high hopes that he could carry that over into this one. But he got them 3 early fouls. And then, you know, down the stretch, man, he's a player who can shoot very well off the dribble. So you give him the ball, let him get a couple dribbles in, he can put the shot up and he goes. If he's catching and shooting, I'm starting to understand that he's crap at that. He's not very good at that. After 3 years of watching him in this era, you would better have him shooting threes off the dribble. It is what it is. Because every time you line him up in the corner or at the top of the key and somebody gives him a chest pass, he's bricking it. It's just consistent at this point. We have enough data at this point to understand that D'Angelo Russell is a bad catch and shoot player. I don't know if the numbers are going to back that up. The stats, I don't know if it does, but the eye test is definitely backing it up for me. He is not good catching and shooting. And so that was really tough because we kept on getting him those looks and he kept on breaking them. And so, man, I tell you, man, we always find a new way to lose. That's kind of the theme with this basketball team, man. We find a new way to lose, bro. We find a new way to lose. We can't beat good teams. And tonight was just we found a new way to lose. Be close against an anemic ball club. Turn the ball over as much as you can to assure that every brick shot they have another opportunity at getting an easy bucket. And instead, that is exactly how we lost this game tonight. Turning the ball completely over consistently throughout the course of the entire game. We had 10 turnovers in the first quarter, man. So we did kind of slow it down on the turnovers. If you look at that and you see that we ended with 21, only 11 throughout the course of the rest of the 3 quarters. So we got better. But it didn't seem that way because we turned the ball over every chance we got. Minnesota has to be given credit for their defense, and in regards to that, I thought our defense looked pretty good tonight, which is why, partially why the score was so low on both sides. But you know, our offense is anemic. It was putrid. It was putrid. It was putrid. And like I said, Anthony Davis, he had 23 and 11, but I swear he was a role player out there tonight, man. He was not the main character at all on our basketball team. It was probably somebody like Gabe Vincent or Austin Reeves, probably the main characters. And that tells you the story. That tells the story right there. I remember more of what Gabe Vincent did than I do Anthony Davis on the basketball floor tonight. Like, literally. Gabe was everywhere. He had a transition 3-point shot that I thought was a bad shot that went in. I'm like, oh my God, don't take that shot. We didn't have no rebounders, but since it fell, hey. And hit another 3 from the corner. Oh, like those were 2 loud 3-point shots. He only had like 5 points, but both of the shots, 6 points rather, or something like that. But both of the shots he hit were loud. And so, you know, like that, the story of this basketball game is the Lakers played like they were on the road for a one game for which they were. That's what they played like they was. You going up to Minnesota after 5 days off, and you have to play one game in that city, and then you come back home. We played like that scenario would have it. You know, that's exactly how we played. Just miserable basketball game. Anemic. What he gave into it, 6 points to 2 threes, right? Yep, 2 or 4 from behind the arc. Those are 2 of the loudest threes because he took them in transition in ill-advised ways, if I'm not mistaken, or one of them was. But, you know, if you can't get nothing out of Dalton Knecht, you can't get nothing out of D'Lo Russell. They got 4 shots out of combined 2 of them. Those are supposed to be players that make up for what Bron otherwise isn't providing. You got 4 field goals made out of Rui Hachimura. You're not going to win the game. Unless Anthony Davis is going to go for 50, you're not winning the game. The rest of your team didn't give you enough. Max Christie had 15 points. Austin Reeves, 18 points. After that, aside from Anthony Davis, 23, nobody had over double figures. So if your offense is going to struggle to that damn degree, then yes, you're going to lose a game where the other team shoots below 40% from the 3 end of the field. Yes, you're going to lose. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So this was a hard game to watch, man. Just like every loss, it has its own story to it. But this one was like, can we please get this crap over with? That's exactly how I felt throughout the course of this basketball game. Can we end this garbage? Because this is grueling to watch. Both teams couldn't throw a rock in the ocean, and but one team was turning the ball over a lot more than the other one, and that really was the story, man. They had 13 turnovers to our 21. What was the rebounding differential? 61 boards for us. I think we probably won the boards. We did okay there. It's kind of hard to read this. 56, I think. 56 to 61. So we did win the boards. But miserable, man. Miserable night for the Lakers overall. And when your team that you're going up against shoots poor, but you shoot even more poorly, you know, I think that's how that equates. 28% for us, 34, 28% for them. So we both shot poorly from behind the arc. Both shot poorly from the field. 40% for them, 38% for us. So it was a brick fest of catastrophic proportions. A defensive game, and only one team was actually effective in getting more possessions up because of the turnovers on our end, man. I'm glad this game is over. I really am. We have the Memphis game coming up on Sunday at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. And hopefully we'll put up a better look against Memphis, who dropped 133 as of right now with a minute 16 to go against the Brooklyn Nets. Ja out there staring down the coach and hit dunking and shooting threes and doing all types of stuff. He's Ja Morant it out there in Brooklyn, and we get a date with him. That's just is what it is. I'm not looking forward to that either, given how they're playing versus how we're playing right now. Hopefully Braun will see fit to rejoin the team. I don't know where he was for this one. We could have probably used him, but then again, with the turnover issue being as it was, I'm pretty sure we would have had even 10 or 11 more turnovers with him on the floor, if I'm being completely honest with you. He would have turned the ball over most definitely tonight, just like everybody else did. So that is really it. I don't want to talk about this basketball game. I was especially irritated with this one. It was good to have this team away from us for about 5 days, only for them to come back and disappoint us some more. That's exactly how I feel. This is just a disappointing basketball game, and it just continues to linger as it pertains to the attitude that I have that we can't beat a good team. We cannot beat good teams. If you have a good team in front of you, just be prepared for the Lakers to lose to them, no matter who they are, no matter what status, how well they shoot, how poor they shoot. It don't matter. If they have the status as a good team in this game, we're going to lose the ball game. It's a pretty damn good bet at this point. I'm just letting people know, man. I would love to come at y'all with a better attitude, but it's starting to linger, man. Our ineptitude against good teams, our struggles in finding new ways to lose, it's lingering. We're still in that era that we've been in. We beat the Portland Trailblazers, we beat the Utah Jazz in some ridiculous way. You may win a game against San Antonio, but we're still in that flurry that began against Orlando. We're still in it, and that's what I want people to understand. I can tell you right now, we're still in it. And we haven't snapped out of that funk as a team, and it's just lingering, man. It's lingering. Wins against Portland and Utah are not making it any better. And we are a team that can only beat bad teams, man. That's really what it is. So, I don't know what else to tell people. This ain't no long video, for one, because I didn't get a chance to do my stat thing. I'm looking at ESPN to see if they got our stats back up at this hour, but I don't think so. The box score is still broken for this particular game. So, did the best we could. Ironically enough, the box score would be broken when I finally have a new phone to actually look at the stats. How ironic is that? But that's kind of how this goes for this night. That this situation with that sums up how the game actually went. It was ridiculously inept, frustrating, and embarrassing. And I am looking very much forward to see how other people feel about this basketball game. I give them a pass, I guess, for the stats are back. There we go. Give them a pass, I guess, for having 5 days off and, Braun, the distraction there and all that. But this was crap, man. This was real crap. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, the box score is putrid. It's putrid, man. Yeah, 17-point was the biggest lead. We never had a lead in this game at all. As close as we were throughout the course of this game, we spent a good portion of this game within like a 4-point, 3-point lead, 3-point deficit rather, 4-point deficit. A good portion of this game was spent with that deficit, and they just spread it out to 10. Brick a million shots. We turn the ball over. They go out in transition. We gave up, what is it? Let's see. 27 points off 30 turnovers. Is that what that says? Does that say 30 turnovers? That's probably not right. The other stats seem like they made a lot more sense to me because these stats are off. So ignore what I just said there. NBA TV had it right. This thing says that Minnesota had 22 turnovers. They didn't. They definitely did not. So yeah, this is still bad. They're trying to figure themselves out. So yeah, that sums up how the game went. This right here sums it all up. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.